So, as anyone who's been watching my recent shorts may know, I've been playing the Black Ops 6 beta, and then I've recently started playing Modern Warfare 3 because I never played it, and I just wanted to kind of scratch the itch until the launch of Black Ops 6, which is, again, the first Call of Duty game I've actually been somewhat looking forward to in quite a long time. I haven't played a Call of Duty game in years. But since it's about a month and a half until Black Ops 6 actually comes out, I decided, hey, Modern Warfare 3 is on Game Pass. I might as well try, you know? And for the most part, I am enjoying it. I've been kind of going goofy with it. I saw that there was a bow and arrow, so I unlocked that really fast. And I've been really enjoying using it. I've been running around like I'm Hawkeye or something, and just generally having a good time with it. So I decided I was just gonna make a full-length video instead of a short. So I've just got an entire gameplay here of a domination game I played where I did quite well in my estimation. You know, just running with nothing but the bow and arrow. And yeah, so that's what has been playing in the background and what will continue to play here. Yeah, I don't do anything singularly, like, really crazy here that I recall. I had some good shots here and there. Usually they were kind of sporadic, though. But for the most part, you know, I'm just playing the same way I would with a gun, but with a bow and arrow, and I'm still doing quite well. Like, it is a lot of fun just to kind of goof off, use some low-tech weaponry, and make it effective. The other thing I did real early was unlock the riot shield. I do have a set where I run around with the bow with the riot shield on my back. This match, I was actually running with the set I have where I had a submachine gun that I was thinking about training, and I just kind of zoned in on that and never really realized that I wasn't feeling like using the submachine gun, so I kept that set up when really I probably should have been running with the one with the shield on my back if all I was doing was running around with the bow, but that's really neither here nor there. That's just, you know, normal gameplay coming out, just doing something little inefficient. But I suppose for the rest of the video, I'll just muse a little bit on what my experience has been in Modern Warfare 3 so far. Because for the most part, I've just been doing what you see here. I've been doing some goofy stuff just off on the side. You know, I've been using the bow and arrow. I've been using, you know, knives and the riot shield. You know, like, I've barely used any guns since I started playing. And I suppose that with that comes a little bit of a less of an expectation of doing well, so when I still perform pretty well with those constrictions on me, I think I get a little more fun out of it that way, which is something to consider, I suppose, just to further illustrate what my perspective on all this is, because I've been playing for like 2 days, 2.5 days, something like that. And I suppose that was really just because of the Black Ops 6 beta cross-promotion that they had, where I got a bunch of experience and stuff in this game automatically for playing the Black Ops 6 beta. Like, if I hadn't gotten those pop-ups, you know, when I was doing that, I probably wouldn't even have considered jumping over to this game. So, I mean, I guess good on them. You know, that was a smart move. Got me to try out another game. Yeah, I started at, like, level 52 or something, and already had a bunch of stuff unlocked, I think. It's really kind of a blur, because at the beginning, I was just trying this out to see kind of what the vibe of it was. Like, the first few matches, I was running around with, like, a submachine gun and just kind of, like, looking at the maps and the color palette and getting the feel for, like, the, you know, the sight lines, like, the movement feeling, just all the different little quirks that are going to be different from one Call of Duty game to another. And just trying to, you know, put my finger on the pulse of what this game was all about. And that initial part wasn't very fun. I was unfamiliar with all the maps. You know, I was getting steamrolled by people who knew all those sight lines and all those ways around. And, you know, when I'd spawn and, like, run up and get shot in the back, I'm like, I literally don't even know where they came from. You know? Like, usually when that happens in another game that I am familiar with, I'm like, oh, they must have done X, Y, and Z to get into that position. I'll need to be careful about them trying to do that again. But, you know, if you're not familiar with all those little quirks, then it can be really overwhelming jumping into a new game. Like, other people have had a really long time with this game to get familiar with it, so catching up in that early section, like the first few hours or so, you know, the first, like, 8 to 10 games, was a bit of a slog, I will admit. But once I did finally kind of calm down, get a good look around, I noticed some people running around with some fun stuff. I saw somebody with a bow and arrow, and I was like, there's a bow and arrow in this game? And that was a big turning point. So I was like, I want that. That sounds like fun. And I guess, you know, the rest is history. Yeah, I think one of the other big things to get used to was coming into the end of a DLC cycle and everything with, like, all the add-ons and extras. Like, I'm shooting a bow and arrow at, like, literal celebrities every other match. I'm like, you know, you round the corner and there's Snoop Dogg shooting at you, and it's like, huh. So yeah, that takes some getting used to, for sure. Yeah, one thing I noticed early on as well, though, especially in that initial getting used to the game segment, was there are so many guns and, like, so many attachments for them. Like, just trying to browse through, like, all of the potentially available guns and attachments and stuff was just, like, there's so much. So I think, like, going simple and, like, back to basics and, like, picking up a bow and arrow where the only attachment is, like, you know, do you want to put a bomb on the tip of the arrow, or do you want to make it just do more damage, or, you know, thermite or whatever. And yeah, like, it really simplified things. It was a lot less that I had to focus on to get comfortable with what I was supposed to be doing. And that kind of a thing is probably pretty individualized to me. I've got ADD, so, you know, the focus aspect of anything I try to do is always a concern. So being able to make things a lot more simplified and just easily understandable, very intuitive, it's very important for me to be able to actually, like, connect with something. Like, if I played from the beginning and I was, like, there when all of these new guns and new attachments and everything were coming out, and it was all, like, one thing at a time in stages, I'm sure I'd be fine with all of it. And conversely, like, if I would play this game for, like, the solid month it's going to be until Black Ops 6 comes out, I'd probably slowly come to understand all the ins and outs. Because whenever I do get into something, like, I get into it pretty deeply. Like, I devote my singular focus to whatever one thing I'm doing at the time. So, you know, like, I've been watching videos on other YouTube channels that are, like, Call of Duty YouTubers. You know, mostly that was about, like, their thoughts on, like, the Black Ops 6 beta, but now that I'm playing Modern Warfare 3, I'll probably look at some, like, you know, guides for, like, the different guns and, you know, maybe some map strategies, stuff like that. Like, that is the kind of thing that I will throw myself into gradually when I start to enjoy something and I want to get a little bit better at it. It's just kind of how I am. But anyway, it looks like the match is over. Those were just some of my unscripted musings on, you know, how I've been experiencing Modern Warfare 3. Maybe that'll convince you to try it. Like, if you got Game Pass, I say, why the heck not? But other than that, you know, hey, I've been having fun. And that's all the point I was really trying to make. So I guess I'll just sign off here. I'll say I'll see you guys next time. Later.